The Living Light, Hildegard of Bingen, and Near-Death Encounters. Good morning, everyone. Hi, Kristen, Maggie, Roger. Thanks for the prayers, Roger. Janet, Anne, Catherine, Sharon, and Anne from Ireland. Welcome back to Ireland. Peace and namaste, my soul friends. Thanks for being here live. I sure appreciate it. And by recording today, we're going to step into the radiant world of Hildegard of Bingen, Saint Hildegard of Bingen. She was a mystic, a composer, healer, visionary, and walked along the path of divine encounter, where the living light speaks not only in medieval Latin, which is what she wrote in because she was brilliant, but in the eternal language of the soul. So she was born in 1098 in the Rhineland, in what's now Germany. And Hildegard was dedicated to the church at a young age. From childhood, she experienced luminous visions, not hallucinations, but visions. But what she called the living light, that's what she described her experiences of the living light, a brilliance more real, and we hear this from NDEs, more real than the world around her, filled with a voice that revealed the deep architecture of heaven and earth. Good morning, Liv and Octavia. Those visions of Hildegard became the foundations of her major works, Know the Ways and the Book of the Divine Works, and her prophetic correspondence with powerful people. Hildegard was so much more than just a visionary. She was a polymath, a composer of sacred music, a natural healer, and one of the first women in Christian history to speak spiritual truths to earthly power. She talked truth to power, advising popes and emperors with clarity, and most importantly, clarity matters a lot too, but courage. She had a lot of courage. And among her most profound contributions was her portrayal of the divine feminine wisdom, Sophia. Remember, this was 1098-ish, whose presence and essence closely resemble what many talk about during our near-death experiences. So this is one of the things she wrote. She is so bright and glorious that you cannot look at her face or her garments for the splendor with which she shines. She is terrible with the terror of the avenging lightning, and gentle with the goodness of the bright sun. And both her terror and her greatness are incomparable to humans. She is with everyone and in everyone. And so beautiful is her secret that no person can know the sweetness with which she sustains the people and spares them in inscrutable mercy. Now, this isn't some kind of abstract theology. It's a record of her encounter. This is an experience, a record of her encounter. And what Hildegard saw is the striking, and what we see is the striking similarities to so many near-death experiencers, what we all describe, a radiant, conscious light, terrible and gentle. And I know we don't talk about the terrible much, but I've had that experience in one of my mystical experiences. I rarely speak of it, but it's terrible, not in a horrible way, but terrible in a wondrous way, overwhelming in majesty and tender in mercy. A being so vast, yet so intimately present with us. And the ears often describe being enveloped in light, a living light, and we fully know, and that we're fully loved and known without condition. A light that feels alive, intelligent, and profoundly sacred. Like Hildegard's divine wisdom, this light is described as being with everyone and in everyone. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, even on Sunday at Not Church, offering both justice and compassion, strength and solace. I should pronounce that solace, 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 like feeling good about something, gentle, calming, soothing. And this presence is frequently felt as feminine, and not in gender. This is because the divine has no gender, but in essence, in its essence of itself, nurturing, deeply beautiful, wise, and mysterious. Hildegard's visions often come in symbolic and poetic language because this is what mystics do. We talk in metaphor. And in this vision, she presents wisdom with a capital W, Sophia, the feminine in the Old Testament, in the Torah. The wisdom is feminine in the language. She describes it as the living light, as she sometimes calls it, the living light. The Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, they call it the uncreated light. I experienced it as the living light and also as uncreated because it was uncreated. But it's a cosmic force, dazzling and gentle, just and merciful, unknowable, yet intimate and transcendent. But Hildegard does more than describe these encounters. She challenges us to live from them. So here's another quote by her. Dare to declare who you are. This is what she's telling us. Dare to declare who you are. It's not far from the shores of silence to the boundaries of speech. The path is not long, but the way is deep. You must not only walk there, you must be prepared to leap. For those who've seen the light, experienced the light beyond death, or in this life, these words ring with piercing truth. After an NDE, many feel an urgent calling. It feels like a compulsion to me to live your truth, speak your soul, even without language, in just an action. Leap into the unknown. Declare, dare to declare who you are. In Hildegard, she's not speaking of ego or identity. She's calling us to declare our spiritual origin, our soul's true nature and divine purpose. It's not merely psychological, emotional, or personal. It's higher than that. It's deeper than that. It's mystical. To declare who we are is to acknowledge our birth from the light, our original selves, our highest self, and align ourselves with it interiorly and in our living. It's not far from the shores of silence to the boundaries of speech. The distance from the inner vision to the outward voice, it's not measured in miles or kilometers, but in courage to speak or act. The leap from contemplation to expression, it's short in time, but vast in vulnerability. And therein lies the problem for most of us. Being vulnerable in the world. And Hildegard, thousands of years ago, how many? Almost, yeah, it's 2025. She spoke in 1098. Thousands of years ago, she knew this. She lived in an era when women were silenced. So not only were mystics silenced, but women in general were silenced, and visionaries in general were suspect, and heresy could cost you your life. To oppose the powers, religious powers, they could kill you for it or imprison you for it. And still, she leapt. She spoke truth to power. So too with many experiencers today, whether our visions come in monasteries or operating rooms, or during meditation or prayer, or from cardiac arrest. The light calls, and the soul must answer. It's like this little diamond that's given to us, and it has to be nurtured after and sat inside of for it to be able to give us what we need in order to heal and speak or act. Now, NDEs often return compelled to speak. That's why so many are talking about it, but struggle with how. Our experience is ineffable, yet it insists on expression. That was directly my experience. Speak, but I give you no words. Oh, thanks a lot. Like Hildegard, we feel that we must leap beyond our fears, beyond our convictions, beyond the small self, and speak what the soul now knows. The soul knows. You must not only walk there, you must be prepared to leap. That line captures the heart of mystical experiences, of near death experience aftermath. The journey to divine love, capital D, capital L, the divine love, may be instantaneous. It happens in moments, but integrating it, it takes a lifetime. That's why it takes 20 years, 10 to 20 years to integrate these things. And it's not just a journey across physical space, but a deep descent into the heart, soul, and truth of our being. The path is not long, but the way is deep. And this is true for mystics in every age. The transformation, it's rarely linear. Near-death experiences often collapse time. Mystical experiences collapse time. But the effects, their effects, unfold slowly. It's the gift that keeps on giving if you dig in. Not across years, not only across years, but also in depths. It just keeps giving. It's a stripping away of illusion, a return to essence, and a reconnection with the ground of our being. So here's Hildegard of Bingen, who 1,000 years ago was in the same situation we are, digging in, taking the leaps. We're not alone in this. So we're doing this Women in Mysticism series. There's a lot of them, many, many of them. Some wrote and some didn't. We're going to be looking at the ones who wrote because, well, we can learn from them. She leapt. Yeah, Christian, she leapt. All right, so we have enough time for meditation this morning. I've already set my alarm. Let's make sure that I don't have it too loud. I know, where is that? Oh, I did. I had it way loud. That'd be shocking. Okay, so here we go. Let's close our eyes. Here's a new a modified mula for you. So this and this, right? But you can touch your index finger on the camera to your thumb and lay that into and create this, not only a little cup between your hands for the chi ball, but a little space that kind of condenses it as well. So let's close our eyes. Let your breath become easy and soft. And with each exhale, welcome the light inside yourself. You are known. You've always been known. You will always be known. You are held. You've always been held. You always will be held. You are loved. You've always been loved before your birth. You'll always be loved in this life and after. And the wisdom, the Sophia that called Hildegard of Bingen will whisper within you now. Let's meditate together. Peace and love, everyone. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for meditating together. I hope it was deep for you. Peace.